As Jesus Christ stepped out into the narrow streets of Jerusalem, the weight of the cross was placed upon his shoulders, and the world seemed to fall silent for a moment. The wood was rough, heavy, and unforgiving, pressing into wounds already torn open by lashes, each step sending waves of pain through his body. The crowd gathered quickly, voices rising like a storm, some mocking, some weeping, many not understanding the gravity of what they were witnessing. Dust lifted from the road as he walked, mixing with sweat and blood, creating a trail that told a story of suffering and sacrifice. Every step forward was a choice, a quiet act of love, even as his strength began to fade beneath the crushing weight. Roman soldiers pushed him onward, their commands sharp and relentless, showing no mercy to the one who had shown mercy to so many. He stumbled, his knees hitting the ground with a dull thud, the cross crashing beside him, echoing through the hearts of those who watched. For a moment, it seemed as if he could not rise again, as if the journey would end there on the dusty path. But slowly, with trembling effort, he lifted himself, gathering what strength remained, driven by a purpose greater than pain. Among the crowd, a mother watched, her heart breaking with every step her son took, her eyes filled with tears that words could never express. Mary, mother of Jesus, stood helpless, feeling the weight of sorrow pierce her soul, just as it had been foretold. Their eyes met for a brief moment, a silent exchange of love, pain, and understanding that needed no words. The journey continued, each step slower than the last, each breath heavier, as the hill of Golgotha drew nearer. The sky above seemed to darken, as if creation itself was mourning the suffering unfolding below. Some in the crowd began to weep openly, unable to bear the sight, while others turned away, unwilling to face the truth. Again he fell, the cross pressing him into the earth, the weight almost unbearable, the pain beyond human endurance. A soldier, growing impatient, pulled a man from the crowd, forcing him to carry the cross behind him. That man was Simon of Cyrene, an unwilling participant who would never forget the burden he had been made to share. Jesus looked at him, not with anger, but with compassion, as if even in that moment, he was offering something greater than suffering. Women along the road cried out in grief, their voices filled with sorrow and disbelief at the injustice before them. He turned to them, his voice weak yet filled with authority, telling them not to weep for him, but for themselves and their children. Even in pain, he was thinking of others, warning, teaching, loving without condition. The path grew steeper as they approached the place of execution, the air heavy with dread and finality. Each step echoed with the weight of what was to come, yet there was no resistance, no turning back. The soldiers continued their march, indifferent to the suffering, focused only on completing their task. This was a journey chosen, not forced, a path walked out of love rather than obligation. The sound of footsteps, cries, and distant whispers blended into a haunting rhythm that marked the final moments of the journey. As they reached Golgotha, the place known as the Skull, the cross was taken from him and laid upon the ground. The moment had come, the destination reached, yet the story was far from over. The crowd followed, some out of curiosity, some out of hatred, and some out of broken hearts. He stood there, weakened but resolute, his mission clear even in the face of unimaginable pain. There was no anger in his eyes, no hatred, only a deep, unshakable love that defied the cruelty surrounding him. The journey of the cross was not just a path of suffering, but a path of redemption, written with every step he had taken. And though his body was broken, his spirit remained unyielding, carrying a purpose that would change the world forever. Those who watched could not fully understand it then, but history would remember this walk as one of the greatest acts of love ever known. It was not the weight of the cross that defined the journey, but the love that carried him through.